justice for her brother.
It's unmistakable that we're all here today because we've all awoken. We've awoken to the amount of black men that have been executed by the police on public view with absolutely no accountability. We see it time and time again in America, where black men are getting shot in cold blood and police officers are walking scot-free. But don't be mistaken, there's over 1,500 plus men that have died in police custody in Britain, and women. In 1998, Christopher's crime was to go to a nightclub. He'd been assaulted. He fell and bumped his head. He got taken to the hospital as a complainant. The police went to see him as a complainant, dragged him around the hospital, dragged him outside. He stood at fully compass mentis, stepped into the back of the police van, and on a supposed 5-minute journey, came out fully unconscious, with his trousers and box shorts down to his knees, his belt missing, more severe injuries, and it was on CCTV footage. He was dragged into that custody suite, thrown on the floor, and Christopher gasped for his life for 11 minutes. And all the police could do was look for some kind of excuse for having him laid there, wanting to charge him with a more severe charge than prevent a breach of the peace. I honestly believed at that time, like most people in this country do, that the state was going to do the right thing. But then I realised that's not the case. We had an inquest where non-ordinary men and women like us studying now listened to the evidence, watched the CCTV footage, listened to how the police officers' clothes were dry cleaned, listened to how the van was cleaned, listened to how Christopher's clothing was burnt, listened to how his tooth was destroyed, listened to how his belt was missing, and they came up to the same conclusion as what I did, that Christopher was unlawfully killed. Now normally you think, unlawful killing, somebody would be held responsible. Little did I know at the time, even 20 years before Christopher's death, there'd been numerous black men that had died in very similar circumstances, and there's absolutely no accountability. Let me just make it clear to you. There's absolutely no process in this country that will hold the police to account for a death of a citizen. This is not just black people, white people are dying as well. It's taken a long time for people to wake up. Yeah? If a police officer kills you, the first excuse that they will give is they are feared for their life. Well, why are they employing frightened police officers? You've got to look at it this way. This is the future of our youth. Yeah? Our young ones. And believe you me, the way that I have been treated and the rest of the families over the years, you will also get treated the same. Now what makes police officers any different from the rest of us? They're very capable of the petty hates and prejudices that we all have. These police officers were heard making monkey and chimpanzee noises while Christopher's body laid on the floor of the custody suite. What did the state do? The CPS set a case that they knew would never in a million years be successful. We had to sit at an 8-week trial of these police officers only to watch them walk free. Now I say, to instill confidence in the people, we have to see accountability. To give the police a standard to work up to, we need accountability. But we need to be honest. We need to realise questions, all of a sudden they don't know how your loved one's died. Now they can tell you, oh, Tutenkamun died, but when you die at the hands of the state, all of a sudden medical history goes backwards. Not just that. Your family, your loved one is given a post-mortem even before you know about it. But it's a post-mortem done by the Home Office, and the Home Office in charge of the police. Now in 1998, it used to be an outside so-called independent force that investigated the police. But then what would happen, they would go back to the force in question for them to make decisions on whether their officers were going to get charged or not. Now myself and many other families, Roger Sylvester, Sean Riggs, Brian Douglas, Gigi Lapete, many others, more than I can really remember. We fought and we fought and we fought, only to get the IPC, the old Police Complaints Authority at that time, changed to the IPCC. But it's not changed, just the surface has changed. Because they still go back to the police to find out whether their colleagues are going to get charged or not. It's like a court-martial system in this country where the police investigate themselves and they make decisions to whether their colleagues are going to get charged or not. But it's got to stop. We pay these people a decent wage. They also demonize your loved one. Yeah? As soon as your loved ones die, a narrative is put out that they were aggressive, they've assaulted somebody, they've done this, they've done that. They were big, angry black men. And normally the press runs with it and doesn't ask any questions. So instantly, the general public then thinks, well, what have they done wrong? But you don't always have to be in a position where you've done something wrong. These men are dying without even getting a chance to go up to a court to be found guilty or not guilty. But they're dead on the floor. Now we know mental illness does not kill you. But that is an excuse that they'll use. But it's good to see everybody out today because people are waking up now. People are awake. Enough is enough. We thought we buried Christopher in 2000. Shall I tell you what happens if you fight the state? They will swap your loved one's body, like Christopher, with a 77-year-old woman. And they'll allow you to go through a funeral, burying the wrong person, while your loved one's body is hidden in 6 body bags in a mortuary. And they will still use his body for training police officers. Then you go through an investigation again by a so-called outside force who's going to cover up that. I'm in a position now, if I tell you just what is in those documents, which I believe should be in the public domain, we have a right to know, I will get done with contempt of court and I will go to prison. If you ask me, did they know that was your brother in the mortuary all those years? I have to tell you, I cannot tell you. Now look at Mark Duggan, shot in the streets of London. Look at the young lad in Liverpool. People die reality. We must all stick together. There's going to be guns on the street. The police are going to have guns shortly. You must have seen it on television. Yeah? Where they're all rigged up and all this Robocop gear. There's going to be guns going about right, left and centre. And there's going to be more deaths. Look at John Charles de Menezes. He was innocent. He did nothing wrong. But it was made out as if he was like a terrorist. Well, he wasn't. He was innocent. Where is the innocent until proven guilty in this country? Why has the no police officers been held accountable? Because the state protects itself. We've got to remember this is our future, our children's future. Thank you.
Thank you.